Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So, President Trump, by fact, is having a very successful presidency so far, despite radical liberals who unfortunately stormed Trump Tower today in protest that the Trump administration is deporting a radical terrorist sympathizer who was sending death threats in the name of Hamas. President Trump is getting the support of mostly sane people. The people that are against Trump are mentally ill, and obviously they have low testosterone men, high-calorie women, and honestly, they don't care. They want to see this country fail. And if you ask me, they are angry. They are fuming right now. They don't want Doge to waste, cut waste and corruption. As you could clearly see, Donald Trump, in hours after horrible, difficult news of a recession that we could possibly be having, we'll be talking about that in a little bit. Donald Trump is delivering major wins. And you're seeing three major points, starting with the economy. Inflation and egg prices are crashing with a dose of liberal denial. As usual, you have your liberal biased news that are coming out that, like, for instance, Axios is clearly saying, Trump says egg prices are down, but here's why eggs still cost a lot at grocery stores. Like, they're trying to, point that out. Let's see, what does CNN say? Egg prices are finally falling, but they're about to spike again. Okay? And if they are, then why are you mentioning that? It's like CNN does not want us to celebrate. That's because CNN is fuming right now. CNN is angry. This is bad news for CNN, because CNN is I would say, an oligarch of the Democratic Party, just like MSNBC and ABC, CBS. All these liberal news networks, they're all in the game for Democrats when it comes to the price of eggs. They were telling us all this time, eggs, they're so high. The eggs are like $7. Well, guess what? Eggs are now lower than the eggs are pretty much back to normal. Then the spike is over. They're going down. It's pretty much back to normal. I looked at a chart. I wish I could have got that chart. I can't find it. But that chart basically said that, hey, look, by the time Donald Trump entered into office, it's basically back to that level. And basically during that time, we didn't even notice. They were going up a little bit, but we didn't really notice the price. But now they're going back down. But according to CNN, they're going to go back up again. But you know what? Like I said before in a previous video, the American people the most important thing is Donald Trump is trying. Okay, I think the American people know that. Hey, look, Donald Trump. It has a very hard situation. This is a Biden economy we're taking over. We're going to have a lot of errors and make a lot of mistakes. That's going to happen. The American people expect that. We can go back to the Great Depression, where FDR, take a look at FDR, for example. FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he had a huge responsibility. People turned to him to stop a depression, the biggest economic recession in American history. And look at how patient the American people were to him. It took 8 years to finally feel the effects of a Roosevelt economy. The New Deal wasn't really enacted right away. And although things got gradually better when Roosevelt got into office, like things are getting gradually better right now, the country still had a lot of healing to do. The American people are going to treat Trump the same like they treated Roosevelt and like they treated Obama. Remember, people look to Obama to stop a recession, the Great Recession. 2000, it took time. And I want to believe at one point we got into a little recession once. But look at the Democrats were all like, oh, we're fine. We'll make it through. And now we're in one of the most difficult economies in 20 years. And the American people know that. And the American people, they expect to have problems and trouble. So yes, they're saying, yeah, the price of eggs, but they're relieved the price of eggs are going down. And for CNN to say, oh, they're going to go back up again. Okay. I mean, I think we knew that. I think we knew we were going to have a lot of hurdles. But let's celebrate this win. We got the price of eggs down. But of course, the liberal media, they don't want to celebrate with us. They actually want to, like Fortune is saying, Trump administration says egg prices are lower, but other data calls that into question. And that's just false, by the way, because you know what? I'm tempted to actually pull up Red Eagle Politics because he has a chart. I really hope he doesn't mind. Actually, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Pull up Red Eagle Politics. He has a chart 3 hours ago. Yes, I normally don't like doing this, but to just prove my point, yeah, you see, look at eggs, USCD, specifically, it's below the dotted line. That's very important. And to see the collapse that we're seeing from eggs, a huge nosedive. This is the biggest nosedive since this one right here. I don't necessarily see any dates, but this is where we are right now. And the important fact is we are below the line. And notice it's not curving. It's not slowing down. We're still going down. And that's what matters. And Fortune is having a hard time debuting this map, this graph, which shows a huge decline in egg prices. Yes, we have to get it all the way down over here, but the point is, we're going that direction. It's slanted a little bit, and ideally, it's not going to have a straight line down. I don't think there ever has been a scenario that would be into question. But obviously, this is great news for the price of eggs. What about inflation, you may ask? Well, inflation, the liberal media even, the same thing. This is ridiculous. Look at ABC. Look at this. Inflation cooled in first full month of Trump term, but egg prices soared. I don't know what they're looking at because we got the graph right here. Eggs, US, down. I mean, the egg prices are up. Yes. Go to the grocery store. They are still up. But the graph is saying, yes, the new eggs that will be coming in, this is how economics works, they will be lower. And ABC thinks their viewers are just stupid. And a lot of them are for actually subscribing to this network. More and more eggs get less expensive. Inflation is cooling. Inflation cooled to 2.8% in February, lower than expected. That's good news. Thank you, Wall Street Journal. Thank you. Markets tank. Inflation cools, but Trump's tariff war just sent stocks spiraling. Oh, whatever. Guru Focus. We'll talk about tariffs in a little bit. But the important thing is, guys, it's kind of hilarious to see how one-sided these media outlets are. Because ideally, go back 2 months ago, the media was saying how good the economy was. Trump is inheriting a great, historical, good economy. Really? keep in mind, egg prices were going up under Biden. And silent, right? Because they are Team Democrats. They want Democrats to win. They can't call out their own side. In fact, they will defend it. In fact, they will lie to you and say, it's actually good. It's actually normal. Oh, it's probably just you. This is a good economy. Inflation is transitory. This is what they told us. They changed the definition of a recession, even though I believe we're in a recession right now. Really, what the liberal media is telling us is the recession's getting worse. And it will. It absolutely will. But they're just going to call it the recession. Because they want to make Trump look bad. They could go up tomorrow and say it's a recession. And when that day comes, they'll beat the drum. We're in a recession! We're in a recession! They'll make it loud, even though just a month ago, not even a month, 2 years ago, a year ago, back 23, I want to believe, they told us that we're not in a recession. This is not a recession yet. You see how idiotic these people are? And American people, they know that. The American people, they notice it. Wait. You literally said that. And you literally told us that inflation was transitory. Recession is, we're nowhere near in a recession. Now it's time for a recession? Because Trump is in the White House? See how it gets to these people? It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But yes, it seems all these liberal outlets are freaking out. We are happy. The stock market did went up a little bit due to they were liking the inflation and the egg prices crashing. But liberal media is not going to tell us that, obviously. They will never tell us that. I got that from Fox News. Oh, Fox News? Well, here's the thing. Sure, Fox News does it sometimes where they'll hide some liberal stuff that makes Democrats look good. But we got to remember, this is biased news. They're not going to tell you stuff that makes their opponent look good. So, huge win for Donald Trump in regards to inflation, the economy. Let's go back to our page. Yes, the least amount of border crossings in 26, 27 years. That's huge. Like, we got a leader in the White House. They told us that we needed new legislation in order to fix the border. But it turns out we just needed a new president. And that's exactly what we needed. A new president. Oh, this is horrible. We don't like this president. Of course, because Donald Trump is putting back order. In liberals, they can't stand order. They love disorder. They love it. It's the best thing ever. Disorder. Chaos. Things falling apart. They love it. Especially if it's under their political opponent. So they don't get to be blamed for it. But clearly looking at this, you'll clearly see the least amount of border crossings. Hey, look, guess what? I hate to use the term, but they kind of effed around and found out. I mean, I hate saying that. But that's a saying, they kind of effed around and found out. I mean, this is what happens. You stay here in the country illegally. Guess what? You get deported back anyway. You want to come in illegally and pretend we're not going to find you? We will eventually. Tom Homan, Donald Trump, they made that clear. We're going to find you. We're going to deport you back. Wherever you came from. And your country is going to take you back. And we are doing just that. It is absolutely amazing because we have actually said, okay, you guys can come in. Right when Biden took office, what happened? The border was stormed by illegal aliens. Millions a day. And to those of you who are in denial, it was the immigration issue, not the economy, stupid. The immigration issue that was the most pending, according to polls and exit polls. I mean, think about it. Put yourself in their shoes. Your city is being overrun by illegal aliens. You are being thrown out of your own job, so the illegal alien that has zero permission to be here can take your job. And now you are homeless, and in other circumstances, you are forced to house an illegal alien, even though that illegal alien should be either back in his or her country, or she should be in jail, because believe it or not, the illegal alien broke the law. So really, no one is above the law. Sure, yeah, but except for illegal aliens and groups that we feel should be protected. That's pathetic. And this is where common sense and logical people come together, regardless of the political spectrum, and they say, hey, look, guys, this needs to stop. I can guarantee you a lot of progressives. Ana Kasparian from the Young Turks is a huge advocate for the right-wing side of this issue. I do not think Ana Kasparian is right-wing. No way. But I do think she is center. And that's why the Marxists on the Young Turks are turning against her and Cenk Uygur, because Cenk Uygur is just letting her stay there. Because Cenk Uygur believes in transparency, and I don't side with Cenk at all on anything. I'm calling it as it is. But yeah, to a point, he's being transparent, and I'm going to give him credit for that. But yes, even leftists are against the whole illegal alien thing. Hey, look, our ancestors, I came from a family of Swedish and German immigrants. Guess what? My grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents, they came here legally. They had to pay to get here. They came on a big boat. They didn't fly on a plane like immigrants today do. They came on a big boat all the way to New York, and then they went all the way and settled in northern Wisconsin and in Minnesota. I want to believe, Wisconsin and Minnesota. My Swedish side of the family went in Indiana, and then they came over here. That's why I'm kind of like, okay, is that correct? Yeah, the German side of my family, which I'm more German, they settled in Duluth and the Iron Range. That's where they settled. But the point is, they came here illegally. And guess what? Because they came in legally, they paid, and they built a farm in Ashland, Wisconsin. Well, yeah, that's true. I guess I also had a French, French grandparents, and I believe they built the farm. I'm not good with family tree stuff, but yes, Franco-German grandparents in Ashland, Wisconsin. They built a farm. The farm's still in operation today. It's been up since like the 1870s. It's amazing. I mean, my grandmother, still alive. She's 94. still alive and well, the great-grandmother. But obviously, yeah, that's the American dream. These immigrants are capable of doing the same thing like our ancestors did. But they have to enter the legal way. We believe they are smart people. The Democrats think, oh no, you think they're dumb? You think because they are unwealthy? Because you think they're not white? You think they're dumb? You think they're incompetent? No. It's actually you that thinks that. We actually think they are as intelligent and as smart, regardless of their wealth and their economic status, and regardless of where they're coming from, to actually come in the country the legal way like everyone else in Europe did back in the 1800s. It's called entering the legal way. It's so easy. You go through the front door, but people are just so they like, no, because you are poor, because you're hungry, you must go in the back door, and if you don't let them in the back door, then you're a bigot. You are mean. You want them to starve. Guess what? There's something called maybe giving them a blanket or a meal. And by a meal, I mean like a candy bar, or you can't give them much, but what you can't do for sure is let them in the country. But there's something called expressing compassion and sympathy by not breaking the law. I think our border guards have done a good job doing that. And the Trump administration is absolutely not against that. We believe we can give them food. We just believe taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for it. It's called a random act of kindness, and it's up to that person to express that random act of kindness. So, we have the least amount of border crossings, because then again, we're sending the message, hey guys, we ain't effing around. I hate saying that. I really do. But it's true. We ain't messing around. Get out. You broke the law. It's time to go. I mean, you got a lot of food here. I don't know how long you've been in here, like a year. So we don't doubt that you're gonna have a miserable walk home. We think you're gonna be just fine. Take a hike, go. Ideally, you should be in jail. You broke the law. You should be happy we're sending you back home. And that's sending a message to other immigrants that may have the idea, let's see if we can get through the United States. No. Don't bother. They're going to find you. And we will. We will. And that's something the American people want. Making sure everyone, even illegal aliens, are below the law. Let's talk about Russia and Ukraine, and then we will call it a ceasefire. Nice pun in the end. Speaking of ceasefire, Russia and Ukraine have agreed to a 50-day ceasefire. I want to believe that is the case. I thought I saw an article today. Okay. So apparently, of course, this is Gaza. Gaza was 50 days ceasefire. This was a proposal that rang today in Ukraine in the Russia conflict. Putin agreed to it. Okay, it's actually a 30-day ceasefire plan. My bad. But the point is, Donald Trump got what he wanted. He got the bombs, he got the bullets to stop flying temporarily. Although, it seems as if Putin and Zelensky, they are back at it again. Zelensky attacks manipulative Putin. Yeah, Zelensky's trying to put on a show because he thinks his career is in danger. We know this, guys. That's why he's talked about resigning, because he knows he's going to be coming down as the worst president in Ukraine ever if he doesn't stand up for Ukraine. So, ideally, Putin has his people in chains, so he doesn't have to, of course, put on an act. I'm not saying Zelensky has invisible chains on his people. He probably does. This guy eliminated all elections. We aren't going to forget about that. Zelensky annulled all elections, thus said making Zelensky dictator for life. I mean, Donald Trump's absolutely right. And the fact that he's getting rebuked by that is just disgusting. I mean, because Zelensky is a dictator, a friendly dictator to the United States, therefore he must not be a dictator. Seriously? No, you're still a dictator. Just like the King of England's a king. It doesn't matter if he's aligned with us or not. He's a king. Like I said, clearly, it isn't just a ceasefire that Donald Trump is making gains on. Yes, we had that very, very tense conversation in the White House between Zelensky, J.D. Vance, and Trump. But the point is, Zelensky, he immediately rolled over when Trump paused all aid to Ukraine. Zelensky was in a power trip. He was saying, "Oh, I'm not going to apologize." And right when Trump paused all aid, he got on his belly and got on his back and submitted. And that's what we want to see. And now we're actually working with them. Ukraine has agreed to the ceasefire deal. And along with the Russians. Yes, it says Putin says he agrees in principle with U.S. proposal for 30 days. In 30 days ceasefire in Ukraine. And the good news is, hey, look, Trump, Putin, Zelensky, they're responding to Trump. They're working with Trump. Out of them all, it seems as if Zelensky is having a harder time, because we understand that Zelensky's trying to keep a legacy, right? He's trying to keep his legacy. And we know this. Trump knows this, because this guy can easily be called... This guy's being called out by his own people as a dictator. You annulled all the elections, Zelensky. You're a dictator. You should not be in power right now. Your term ended a long time ago. And Ukraine, Zelensky is getting extra years and a very long term as president. He was elected in 2019. April 2019. 5 years? This could be 6 years? The next Ukrainian election was supposed to be in 2024. But Zelensky declared martial law. Of course, you know how ironic how the South Korean president, when he declared martial law, he was out the door. For some reason, Zelensky's allowed to declare martial law because, okay, we're being invaded. It's kind of ironic. And the South Korean dictator, yeah, I guess the South Korean, I won't say dictator, president, didn't really have a legitimate reason to declare martial law. Maybe, sure, Zelensky, martial law, sure. In this case of an invasion, I guess it could have worked. But you just got lucky. You got lucky because you got the right people in your cabinet on your side. But when is this going to be lifted? When is the people of Ukraine actually going to choose their next president? And will they hold Zelensky responsible? Incumbent President Vladimir Zelensky what has not confirmed if he will seek re-election. When asked in a January 2025 interview, he said that seeking a second term was his current goal, not his current goal of focus. Yeah, because you're going to be in there for life. Duh. And it's up to you to keep the war going. But then again, you have Donald Trump holding you down by the neck, saying, hey, look, you're going to make peace if you like it or not. The people of Ukraine are going to live a normal life, and they're going to hold you accountable for your presidency. Oh, okay, I'll do it. So Zelensky's purposely slacking because he knows that his time is almost up. But Trump is holding him accountable. The Ukrainian people can't hold him accountable, obviously. The elections have been annulled, sadly, but they will very soon. And that's not the only thing. We're not standing up to Ukraine. We also stood up to Russia. We threatened to sanction them if they didn't come to the table. They came to the table. That's good. They're responding to us. They know, like, compared to a year ago, Russia and Ukraine never listened to us. Actually, we did all the listening. Ukraine did all the yapping, and we were sitting there nodding our head. We actually didn't tell Ukraine anything. We let Ukraine do whatever Ukraine wanted to do. But guess what? New presidency. New president. And America now has a backbone. Hey, Ukraine, you're going to sit down, and he's calling it out. Hey, look, I don't care who's in the right, who's in the wrong. Guess what, guys? Who's the good guy, the bad guy in the war? Ukraine and Russia are both the bad guys. Because it's because of these countries that people are dying. It never should have happened. Ukraine is not the victim. Ukraine could have stepped down. Ukraine could have told NATO to back off. They didn't. Russia could have played politics instead of playing war. They didn't. And what happened? Millions of dollars and down the drain, and millions of men and lives lost. I would say 1 million. I wouldn't say millions. I'm not so sure. The casualty rate, but you get what I'm saying. You absolutely get it. And they're coming to the table. After we had 2 days of talking points by Democrats, they were saying, Trump said he was going to end the war. He just sent Ukraine to Zelensky home with no meal. Everything is falling apart. No. Zelensky, guess what? In hours, he's back. He's back to the White House with his tail under his legs. Out of everything now, he knows he's going to be more cooperative because he knew how that went. He knew that, I can't be stubborn with him. So Donald Trump is delivering. Liberals are boohoo, whining, and crying. They're in denial. They're throwing a tantrum. They're trying to make distractions like storming Trump Tower. They're burning Teslas and drawing swastikas, expressing their pro-Nazi rhetoric, literally, on Teslas, and literally just attacking innocent Americans. We should actually sit down and have a conversation and cry with you. No. No, if you want to make your life living hell, then go ahead, make your life living hell. But as of right now, we're going to actually live our lives, and we're going to live them post-COVID, post-Biden. Actually, no, pre-Biden, pre-COVID era. Where we called it normal. We're returning back home. We are going back home. We're going to the world we used to know. 5-6 years ago. Crazy, right? We've been in this limbo abyss of very weird and strange circumstances where wars are breaking out, economies are crashing, and illegal aliens are entering countries. That's going to be no more. So what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.